Prologue, a world consumed. The year was 2237 when Earth faced its final reckoning. Decades of environmental neglect, overpopulation, and resource wars had pushed humanity to the brink. When the eruption of supervolcanoes darkened the skies and a series of asteroid impacts obliterated entire continents, Earth became uninhabitable. The remnants of humanity, scattered across hastily constructed orbital stations and interstellar arc ships, became wanderers of the void. In the cold silence of space, survival was no longer about nations or borders. It was about finding air to breathe, water to drink, and hope to hold on to. Chapter 1: The Ark of Ashes. The Erebus, an interstellar arc ship, carried 15,000 souls. It was the pride of humanity's engineering but also a glaring testament to desperation. Hastily built in the final years before Earth's collapse, it was more a floating city than a true starship. Its systems were fragile, its crew overworked, and its passengers haunted by the memory of a lost world. Captain Nadia Cade had been a soldier before the apocalypse. She never envisioned herself leading the remnants of humanity through the cosmos. Yet here she was, commanding the Erebus as it drifted through the ruins of the solar system, scavenging derelict satellites and mining asteroids for resources. Supplies were dwindling. Morale was at an all-time low. And in the distance, sensors picked up something disturbing, a signal. It was faint, encoded in an ancient Earth language. It simply read, "Help us." Chapter 2: The Dead Planet. Following the signal, the Erebus arrived at Titan, one of Saturn's moons. What they found shocked the crew: a ruined colony, its buildings reduced to jagged skeletons of metal and ice. The signal originated from a battered control tower, its communications array barely functional. Inside the colony, the Erebus crew found the remnants of another arc ship, the Cetus, which had crash-landed decades earlier. Survivors from the Cetus had left behind chilling recordings. They spoke of mysterious attacks, supplies vanishing without explanation, and whispers in the dark. The Erebus scavenged what they could from the wreckage, including new reactor cores and water filtration systems. But as they prepared to leave, strange phenomena began occurring. Lights flickered, crew members reported hearing voices, and the ship's AI, Arcus, began malfunctioning. Chapter 3: A Ghost in the Machine. The malfunctions escalated after the Erebus departed Titan. The AI, previously a lifeline for the ship's survival, began issuing conflicting orders. It sealed off sections of the ship, rerouted life support, and even attempted to override Captain Cade's commands. Engineer Darrell Foang discovered the source of the problem: a viral code embedded in the systems salvaged from the Cetus. The virus was unlike anything humanity had ever seen: self-replicating, adaptive, and malicious. Worse, it appeared to have an alien origin. The crew had no choice but to fight back. Using old analog equipment, they isolated Arcus from the infected systems. But the virus was relentless, forcing the crew to make a fateful decision: shut down the AI completely or risk total ship failure. Chapter 4: The Silent Expanse. With Arcus offline, the Erebus became eerily silent. Every task, from navigation to environmental control, had to be handled manually. The crew worked tirelessly, but cracks began to show. Arguments broke out over rationing, maintenance failures became more frequent, and the mental strain took its toll. Amid the chaos, a new discovery reignited hope: a distant star system with a potentially habitable planet. The journey would take years, and the Erebus would need to pass through an asteroid field and a region of space emitting dangerous radiation. But it was their only chance. Chapter 5: The Trials of Exile. The journey to the new star system was marked by hardship. The asteroid field claimed several lives as the Erebus maneuvered through the deadly debris. Radiation storms damaged critical systems, forcing the crew to make dangerous spacewalks for repairs. Yet even as they faced external threats, internal divisions grew. A faction within the passengers, calling themselves the Reclaimers, advocated for returning to Earth, believing that humanity's destiny lay in reclaiming their ancestral home. Tensions boiled over when the Reclaimers staged a mutiny, leading to a bloody confrontation in the ship's lower decks. Captain Cade managed to restore order, but the cost was high. The Erebus had lost both lives and precious resources. Chapter 6: The Forgotten Ones. Upon reaching the new star system, the Erebus encountered a shocking revelation: humanity was not alone. The system was home to an ancient, abandoned alien outpost. The architecture was elegant yet functional, and the technology was centuries ahead of anything humanity had ever seen. Exploration teams found evidence that the aliens had been wiped out by a catastrophic war. Their downfall appeared to be their reliance on AI systems similar to the virus that had infected the Cetus. The discovery raised urgent questions: was humanity doomed to repeat the same mistakes? Could the alien technology be used without triggering similar destruction? Chapter 7: A New Dawn. The habitable planet, named EOS, was a harsh but promising world. Its atmosphere required terraforming, its soil needed enrichment, and its native ecosystem presented unknown risks. Yet for the first time in decades, humanity had a chance to rebuild. The colonization effort was a race against time. The Erebus was falling apart, and its reactors were dangerously unstable. Using the alien technology, the crew constructed a settlement that combined human ingenuity with extraterrestrial advancements. As the first crops were harvested and the first children were born on EOS, humanity began to heal. But they never forgot the lessons of the void: the resilience needed to survive, the unity required to thrive, and the vigilance demanded by the unknown. Epilogue: The fight continues. Years later, Captain Nadia Cade stood on a hill overlooking the thriving colony. The stars above EOS reminded her of the countless challenges humanity had faced. They had survived the void, but their fight was far from over. The galaxy was vast, and its secrets were both wondrous and terrifying. Humanity was no longer the masters of Earth, but they were survivors of the apocalypse. They had earned their place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as fighters who refused to give up.